Welcome to Great Talking Entertainment. I'm your host, KJ, and this is the YouTube channel where I review movies and TV shows from all your favorite superheroes, including Marvel Comics, DC Comics, and much more. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Great Talking Entertainment official channel. Now let's go, baby! Welcome back to the YouTube channel, everyone. My name is KJ, and today's spoiler video is the new series on Disney Plus by Marvel Television, Wonder Man Episode 7 spoiler review. If you have not seen this, please pause this. But before you go, could you hit the thumbs up button, aka the like button? That would help my YouTube channel out, and I truly appreciate that, and thank you guys in advance. Come back and let me know in the comments below what you think about Episode 7 of Marvel's Wonder Man. So again, this is a spoiler review. Y'all been warned. Now let's get into it. This episode starts off with a flashback as it's Simon and Eric as kids, but pretty much getting dropped off to school from their dad. And Eric gets out. He's cool, he's chill because I think he's the oldest, obviously. And Simon's not too thrilled as we know that he's getting picked on at school and maybe that he's getting bullied. And so Simon's dad, is just being a dad trying to talk to him and says, hey, let's just skip school today. And takes him to the movie theater where we see in episode 1 giving more detail as Simon's dad is giving him advice and encouragement, right? Fast forward, we learn that his dad is the reason why he wants to become an actor, and his dad encourages him. So that's really cool, And as it moves to the current time of what's going on, where they're in the production, right? They're in the production of Wonder Man. And Simon and Trevor are getting prepared for shooting. As Simon's still he's nitpicking on lines, right? Or certain words. And Simon is starting to rely on Trevor throughout those still too. So there's that dynamic duel. And, again, in real life, this is just how there's some actors who will get a script and they'd be like, well, this line seems flat. This doesn't feel like natural or organic to say, depending, some actors just really get deep into that character. Some do, some don't. But everybody's different. And again, as much times as us realize, I'm sure we all have a favorite movie, a favorite TV shows, just so many of them, right? But we never realize how much to them is where it kicks in. It's just a job for them. And I'm not saying they're all like that, but some days it's just stressful because it's okay, I got other things in my personal life. They want to get through this scene, but Simon is a example of there's some actors that just cannot let it go, and they can't move forward on from a scene until something changes to make it more beneficial in their mind. So, but it looks like now Trevor is in a position now where he can make those kind of power moves, quote unquote, a power move in a way. Well, Trevor's kind of like the opposite. He's very I can just work with. He'll make it work. And then, later in this episode, they're having a dinner meeting, and we're seeing that Simon is relying so much on Trevor, his help, he's becoming more codependent, not becoming codependent, but now Trevor's kind of like the crutch for him because, there's these people who are offering a role of some type of film or series that I think is on Netflix or something. They said, I forget. But this shows us that maybe Simon does need to be moderate because of his superpowers, and he doesn't want nobody to know about it. But I think the idea of it is still like people are not cool with it, but people understand it. People get it and they're okay with it. So there's a little bit of mixture of that. And I don't know how, I don't really know per se if that's a real thing in real life. Like, is there actors who depend on other actors for advice that much in their career? I don't really know, but for this sake, this is a more about keeping his superpowers not getting exposed or revealed so many. Because again, by law in the MCU, he's not allowed to be an actor because of the doorman situation. So that's made up. So this is probably more the made up stuff. Now, as again, he does need to be, and he's still having a hard time to control his powers. And then we see Agent P has a plan to arrest Simon in a way he can, save his department from collapsing. And another thing that's happening is a famous reporter named Kathy Friedman is wanting to interview Trevor and Simon and write a piece about them in the New York Times. Simon does not like this because Kathy Friedman does not hold back, and she just the type of person who she's just there to see how everybody acts, and then she writes a piece, and sometimes she can make a career or destroy a career. And those are real people too. That character is representing actual journalisms, or in today's world, content creators, reviewers, podcasters, whatever it is nowadays. As that's kind of a thing that she represents, and that's a true thing because you know somebody's career can be ended over millions and millions of people, the negativities and stuff. So that's pretty cool. And she doesn't hold back, and that makes Simon very nervous because obviously he doesn't want the idea of his powers being exposed, and he knows that he's a dick. And I like the fact that Simon knows that he's a dick. He can be a dick at times. And so I like that. I really like that. And he's worried about what his mom, his brother are going to say, all that. But a good thing that, uh, you know, Simon does talk to people in his life about just, hey, please don't, can you not do it? One thing is, Simon talked to his ex, and because he was worried about that, and they met up. They had a really good conversation, and it revealed that she knew about his power, and all she wanted was she wished he trusted her about it, in hopes that he can find somebody that he can trust that makes him feel like that. And in that moment, I feel like I feel that reminded me of the movie Doctor Strange, where Stephen Strange and uh, Christina, she kind of told Doctor Strange when they broke up, like, I don't know the quote, but I think she said this in Multiverse of Madness, Doctor Strange's Multiverse of Madness, is like, I wish, something about like, she respected the fact that he is the one that always wanted to hold the knife that the knife that they would use in surgery. But she also knows that's his downfall because he's so obsessed of being the best. And to me, again, that reminds me of that. And that's what we kind of got with this scene when they're just, when Simon and his ex were just having that conversation, you know. and that I think again I think if Simon goes to any multiverse, I think every variant of Wonder Man does not end up with her. So I don't know who his true lover is. So there's that. But I like that. That was a feel good moment. And then it gets a dark turn. After everybody he talked to, from his brother to his mom, you know, and then they go back to see with Kathy, and Trevor and Simon are just talking to her, and then it gets dark. Kathy was pressing on Trevor so hard on some information that it got to the point where Simon started realizing something wasn't right because of the video of Trevor getting arrested by the Department of Damage Control. And that's where it started. And then we get to that scene where Trevor admits to Simon that, hey, I was spying on you for them. And Simon gets so pissed off and he's heartbroken. This is the saddest thing because two bros are heartbroken. You know, they both come from a different situation. And they both have different issues, and it destroyed Simon Williams so much. And at the end of this, we see that Simon just explodes. Like, because again, when he gets mad, things start shaking. Like, it's like California's having an earthquake, and he's in this like movie studio building and just screams, and everything it explodes and destroys. And that's what Agent P needed to arrest him. And that's how this show ends. But do I think these two friendship is over? I don't know. I really don't know yet. I don't know how Simon feels because I don't know. Episode 8 is the last episode, but this episode was the revealing episode. This was the episode where everything gets revealed. You know, like, think about it. They were all good. Everybody was having a good time on set. You know, they had their own personal assistants. They both were, you know, living the life, making a little bit of money. You know, things were looking good until this. And I think the idea of, like, Trevor, again, had betrayed Simon through since episode 2 at least. Now we're seeing the end of a friendship, and I think that was, wow. This was heartbreaking, like, because it was nice to see them. They're a great team. They're a great duo, and you can tell they have great chemistry. And this was just the saddest episode because I was like, man, I am not ready to see this. But they've been hyping this up like Simon was gonna find out. I knew he was gonna find out. I honestly, I don't know how far Marvel wants to milk this story of them not being friends no more. How long they want Wonder Man to be sad about this. You know, I don't know. I really don't know where they want to go with it. But again, they just, man, everything, the challenges that in this episode, as I've been saying all through all my spoiler reviews, just is showing like the process of real behind the scene of how a movie or a show is being shoot. You know, like they have the trailers, they're reading scripts, they're doing costumes, you know, fittings, you know, all that. Long nights, long days, all of it. And, you know, now, but then to me, and that's the first thing I like about this episode. Now, the second thing I like about this episode is they steered this whole show back into where it definitely feels like a Marvel show. It really feels like this is the Marvel Cinematic Universe, where now where Trevor reveals to Simon that, yeah, I've been spying on you. I had no choice. You know, this is a Marvel thing now. This is Marvel at its best as usual. And I just like that part. And then the third thing is the mystery of where they're gonna go with this. Like, is Wonder Man, aka Simon Williams, going to get arrested, or is he gonna run off? Is he gonna give up his whole acting career and run away and disappear? I don't know. I would say, based on how Simon's been, I think this is the point where I think he would turn himself in. I think in episode 8 he's gonna give up. I think I think the whole point is he just wants to be a famous actor. You know, again, they revealed it in the flashback that his dad encourages him. He told his son, like, "Hey son, I seen you in that play and you're really good." And I'm not just saying, like, as a dad saying you're good. You're like, "Kid, you're good. Like, you got some acting chops." And he's doing this for his dad. He's trying to fulfill a dream that his dad told him he believed he can do. And so this really means everything, and now he feels like this is all taken away. So I really think in episode 8, Simon Williams is giving up. That's my prediction. I think he's going to turn himself in, and he's going to be locked up. That's what I think. But that is my spoiler review, y'all. Thank you so much. And if I had to give this a 1 out of 10, I got to give this a 9, baby. This was a really good, solid episode. I like how this was the episode that was closing some chapters, revealing some things. And I love the flashback. I love the father and son. You know, the son just wants to honor the dad. And I love the friendship just breaking. Betrayal. Again, they've been foreshadowing this through the whole show. And this was a perfect way to do it. It made sense. It was executed correctly. And I think the audience, the viewers of this show who watch this, totally understood this, totally appreciated it, and what a great episode. But that is my spoiler review, y'all. Thank you so much. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Great Talking Entertainment Official channel. Subscribe, hit that notification button so you can always be updated with all my latest content. Thank you guys, and peace out.